called James is because my name's Adrian and the other guy's name is Matt. Let's see. How do I even do this? Transition? Is this right? I hope it is. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Technical Difficulties with Adrian Hunter. Today, I'll explain what we're going through in just a moment, but if you read the description or looked at the thumbnail or any of that, I'm sure you already know what's going on. James, the reason it's called the AM Hookah Podcast and is in fact not in the AM, because that'd be a really weird time to talk about hookah. Most people don't smoke hookah in the AM, is because my name's Adrian, my co-host's name is Matt. Together we are A&M, and yes, we did have that conversation that needed to happen. Hey, do you think this is going to cause any confusion? Nah, man, I think it's going to be fine. It wasn't fine. Nothing about it was fine. Everyone asks that question always. Today, technical difficulties. We're going to be talking about something that I get a question about personally a lot, and it's Adrian, or whoever, whether it's me or Matt, or even a lot of the other guys in the communities, sometimes get this question, and it's like, hey, can you mix Tangiers with something that isn't Tangiers? And I'm going towards the most opposite end of the spectrum, and I'm going to mix Tangiers with something called ROR Hookah Tobacco. It's a melon flavor, and it is very leafy, stemmy, juicy, a lot like Fumari in the cut. And I'm mixing that together with Tangiers tonight, because I thought that would be a cool thing to do for the AM Hookah technical difficulties. Chat, who's here? Robert Pope. Beer is good. James makes me sad when I scroll down. Leave a dang comment. Sorry. Beer, James Beckman, what's up? Robert, what's up? Tommy Hookhologist, what's going on? Chris, what's going on? Buddy. Gustav or Caesar, what's up, good buddy? Nightbot, you can fucking go home. Tristan, what's going on? Yes, corn. Tony, what's up, buddy? Jeremy, how we doing? Caleb, what up? If I missed anyone's name, you'll have to drop into the comments so I can hit it, so I can communicate with you. Tonight on the AM Adrian is an Alcoholic podcast, Heineken, because I'm super basic. I'm 3 or 4 of these in already, and that doesn't mean anything. It's just Heineken. Shouldn't screw me up too bad. Fine then. What do you mean, Robert? I am drinking beer. I thought that's what you wanted. Out of my glass I may or may not have taken from a local Red Robin. But yeah, in just a moment I'll switch it over to the hookah cam and we'll get down to brass tacks. But I need to have something to drink and maybe catch up with all you fine people. What's everyone smoking? Stuck at work, having nothing to do besides pray to the car gods for a deal. I'll come buy a car from you right now. I'll cut this whole fucking broadcast. Yes, corn. Do I have access to corn? One would imagine I would. Would I imagine. You know, wait, what am I doing? Can I just copy paste? No. Don't you fucking make me mad. Well, apparently I can't. Imagine I type corn in chat. Alright. Let's see here. If I take my image and shove it way up here. Oh, it would have been... I have no clue what I'm doing. Here's what we got today. Let's get down to brass tacks. We'll do a little bit of talking after we show off what we're going to be packing today. We've got the ROR. This is a very leafy cut. When I'm going to pack it with Tangiers, I think I like to cut it up a little bit. Don't cut your tobacco, especially if you're newer to smoking. When I cut tobacco, it's usually for like bowl sizing reasons. Like maybe I literally want the leaves to be smaller, but it's not going to affect performance a whole lot. It's not important. Then we've got Tangiers, seasonal, old school watermelon, right there. And then we've got our ROR, already cut up and portioned out in this little bowl. We'll be using an 80 feet Gen 3 bowl, and we'll be doing a Provost on top, foil and Provost method. I'm a pretty big fan of that one. forgot why I said fine then. I forgot why I said fine then. I love decoding your speak, Rob. You talk so much different than we up here in Michigan talk. I'm glad you thought the transition was entertaining. I am a little bit sick. I do apologize for that. But that doesn't stop me from smoking hookah tobacco. How are we going to do this? Well, we're going to start with the Tangiers. This is going to be the more sturdy of the two in the pack because they're not going to be packed the same. I'm not going to take this ROR tobacco down to a dent pack to hang out with Tangiers. Also, we will not be mixing these. We'll be packing them side by side. I think that's a really good way to pack your Tangiers with a blonde leaf. So first things first, if any of you know how to pack Tangiers, you already know what's going on. I've smoked through a lot of this old school watermelon. I like this flavor. Also, the ROR flavor, or the ROR flavor we're going to be smoking today, is a cantaloupe flavor. Maybe there's a little bit of watermelon in there. It's dual melony, so I'd imagine there is some watermelon or some other type of melon. But I want to accentuate the watermelon with the Tangiers. So here's what we're going to do. For those of you who don't know, I've got all my Tangiers on one side. We're going to fill exactly half of this bowl, or roughly half of this bowl up with Tangiers, and that is exactly as easy as it looks. This should take next to no effort. A little bit more in here, a little bit more in there. Get it nice and densed, take some out, scrape some off the sides, continue to dense it down. It's no big deal. Maybe bring it a little closer. Maybe you guys can see a little better. Oh, look. Now the bowl's closer. You can see better. I swear I'm good at this live streaming thing. We've been doing it for like 2 years now. You'd imagine I would be. So what we're going to do is get half the bowl full of Tangiers, and we're going to pack it down to the density we want the Tangiers at. And that's going to kind of cut off that half of the bowl, where we're going to kind of do a normal pack of the ROR tobacco. So that's why we're doing the Tangiers first, because a normal pack is going to have less stability to it. It's going to be much more movable, is the word I guess I want to use. And we may go back and dense this down a little bit with our thumb at the end, but for now, this will do just fine. We'll get all this extra tobacco off of our bowl, and then we have something that looks like that. We're heisting. Man, fine. Fine. If Matt can waste our bowl, so can I. Heist. 50. Get at me. Okay. So we're done with that. So now we're going to clean up the Tangiers. By the way, for those of you who are new to technical difficulties, I should have explained what it was in the beginning of the show, but I did not. Technical difficulties is a simple show where we're just going to troubleshoot all different kinds of things that could pop up while you're smoking hookah, like packing Tangiers with a blonde leaf side by side. This isn't something that is necessarily in depth or in demand enough for like a full review video on either my main channel or even here on the AM Hookah channel. Are there going to be reviews on the AM Hookah channel? More about that later. Maybe not even later today. I don't know yet. But news coming, maybe. But still something that maybe some of the people in the community want to know about. And a lot of newer smokers might not know how to do this and might not be super intuitive. So that's what the show is. Also, real quick plug. I'll show off this stuff later, but Prestige Coconut Coals, those are the coals we're going to be using today. We love them. They're our sponsor. There's that. Backer. Okay, so like I said, we got our bowl half full, like so. And now we can probably get away with using the fork. Mix that up a little bit more. There is a little bit of alfalfa mint in here. Just because I wanted some alfalfa mint in here. And you're smoking hookah, you get to make those decisions like, hey, I want some mint in my melon flavor. You get to go, okay, I'm going to add just a touch of mint. It's not going to be enough to make it cold. It's more so for the sweet mint leaf flavor that is present in alfalfa's mint. That's how easy that was. That's about where I want it packed. Now I'm going to go back and readjust with a poker, but that's going to be pretty easy. So here at this point, we're not really going to be able to adjust the Tangiers too much with the poker, but the ROR, easy. We're just going to try to keep it off the edges, make sure it's still fluffy. We don't want too much density. So if we press down with our poker and there's not enough give, we can go ahead and loosen it up a little bit, maybe remove some tobacco. But all this is basically where I'd like it. And the ROR can be packed a little under the rim, whereas the Tangiers I want almost to the rim. Something like that will suffice. And with the Tangiers, just to make sure it's where I want it, I'm going to thumb it down real quick, just so it can take up all the space that it needs to and be completely even. No problem. And then we'll wipe off the edge, because cleanliness. And then, after wiping off the edge, I'm going to wipe off my hands, because I aren't disgusting. Let's give this bowl a little rim job. Who doesn't like a good rim job? Hookah John likes a rim job. That's not slander or defamation. That's a quote from an old Hookah John video. So we have something that looks like this. Looks easy enough because it is easy enough. And now we're going to have both flavors side by side. I know what you're thinking. Prove it. Is it actually going to smoke? Yeah, it will. I'll show you. But first, I have to take myself up from this corner and expand myself to here. Look at all the technology that goes into this. Oh, wait. You know what? Let's show you how to foil the bowl. And I'm back. Okay, so real quick, we're going to foil the bowl because we are doing the foil with Provost method. You guys ever have a hard time drum tightening your foil? It's easy. Both hands, stretch it out over the bowl, applying even pressure, not too hard or you will tear your foil. Go around, pull out, not down, pull out, and then set it down. Any pulling, you want to pull out. Otherwise, you're going to tear the foil. And then you come down. You're going to want to torque that shit down. And look at that. It's nice and drum tight. And then we're going to pack these holes as if we were smoking Tangiers. Because Tangiers wants to breathe. And for the most part, the ROR is going to be pretty indifferent. So, I love poking holes on camera because it's awkward. You guys ever seen those, like, you can buy them on Amazon? They're these big circular things. And they've got, like, a bunch of needles and they poke one hole. Yeah, don't buy those. Those are shit. Garbage products. Also, remember, I sometimes forget to do this. Poke all the way to the bottom. Because when you're going over the Tangiers, it is packed so densely, you do want some way for the air to move from the top of the bowl down into the tobacco. So you're not just cooking the top layer, because that's lame. And for this one, we will go all the way to the center. And I'm pretty happy with that. The top is a little juicy, so we go a little oop. And now we're good with that. That looks pretty good to me. Now, we can make ourselves bigger. Whoa. Alright. What's everyone smoking? I feel like I asked that question already. I'm going to ask it again. What are we smoking? Also, I'm going to move this over here so you can see my hookah. That should work. Okay. And then we're going to grab our hookah. Well, let's move this out of the way real quick. I'll explain this contraption in a moment. But we've cooked our coals about 15 minutes ago. They finished just before the show started. Oh, Adrian, they would be really burnt down by the time you actually put them on, right? Kinda, unless you do the thing that I did. And I'll show you what that is. Okay, so we're going to install the bowl on the grommet. That's easy enough. And now we're going to put coals into the Provost. My preference is 3. So in here, what we have is a haze container full of ash. Lots of ash. Like it's a shitload of ash. And we've buried 4 coals in that ash. And what that's going to allow us to do is keep the coals from blacking out too much. So these coals have been lit for almost 20 minutes. So there is going to be some size loss. Giggity. Size loss. But when I pull this coal out, you'll see that is a pretty good size. 3 coals this size should cook our bowl fairly well. And that's a little trick for anyone who, like, maybe you need to light some coals, maybe you want to light more than you need, and maybe you want one to be hanging out for when your session starts to die down. Well, put 4 or 5 coals down, then use 3 for your session, keep 2 of them buried in ash. And then when you're ready for them, they will burn down at approximately 1/3 the speed of the coals you have on the hookah that are being exposed to air. So then we're going to pop this up on top. We got our Provost lid. We're going to set this up with the, what do you call it? Kind of just standing on the coal and the rim. Normally I like to use it, here they are. The one good thing about these urso tongs is that they have these little teeth, which are normally a nuisance. But with the Provost, it really holds on to it if you have a broken Provost specifically. Other than that, they're kind of a nuisance. Put that on top, and then we're going to wait about 3 minutes. Dirty McCherry, that's what you're smoking. Is that a backer flavor? Smoking grapefruit mint with winter lemon. That sounds really good. Bowls. Wait, did the heist happen? Did I lose all my bowls? Oh, yeah. What do we got for bowls now? Show me. I own this fucking place. You better show me. Oh, yay. We've got so many bowls. Here's the thing. We're going to be using our bowls for, like, giveaways and stuff. And there's no reason for us at the podcast to have bowls. It's pointless. Okay. So here's what we're going for with this mix. We've got the, down here, the old school watermelon from Tangiers, which is kind of like a watermelon candy. Nothing crazy. It's a little more natural than something like a Fokker watermelon, but it's really impossible to get a natural watermelon flavor because watermelon is sugar water. All of the flavor you get from a watermelon is like very in the background. It's very delicate. It's really easy to make things taste like fake watermelon because watermelon Jolly Ranchers exist. And that's kind of what they go for with most shisha tobacco watermelons. And the Duo Melony by ROR Tobacco is a cantaloupe forward melon blend with a bit of watermelon in the background. Review on that coming actually very shortly. Matthew, AF Jasmine, how is that? I actually want to pick some of that up. Rami, what's going on, buddy? You're about to pack, Tristan's about to pack his Helix with some cane mint. What color Helix do you have? I feel like I've seen it before, but I'm blanking on it. Just finished PMs. Explain. I'm very confused. Did you PM me? Am I missing something? What's happening? Nope. I mean, someone PM'd me, but no one from here. Okay. I should wait a little bit more, but I'm pretty eager to start smoking this. Real quick, I guess this would be a really good time to, again, affiliate link in the description. Prestige Coco Jumbo Flats are what I'm using today. You can buy their cubes or their Jumbo Flats with the affiliate link down in the description below. Buy them from Amazon, and you're going to get a good price on them, and it's going to help the channel out. It's going to help Prestige Coco Coals out. You all use Coals. Help the channel out. We don't ask for a ton, but, you know, if you're in the market for new Coals and use Prestige, just every once in a while buy them off of our affiliate link, and that helps us out a little bit. And if not, cool, buy Prestige anyway. Like, if you don't want to use Amazon, I can't understand exactly why, but if you have like something you're dead set on supporting, I get that too. Just either way, buy Prestige Coco Coals if you haven't tried them. And if you have a coal you prefer, that's why hookah is so great. We all have opinions, but these are genuinely one of my favorite coals. This is definitely my favorite flat on the market, period. But just wanted to plug that out real quick. Hopefully I've riffed long enough to kind of hit this. Tony, what up, baby? I saw, oh, I hope this is the right Tony. I assume this is Canadian Tony. How was Florida? Adrian, have you tried Ugly Triforce yet? Actually, yeah, Rami. I went out and met Jim in Lansing, and I have a video on it, actually. The Hookah Rush Triforce, and it is really good. Like, I'm a big fan of the old Triforce blueberry, grapefruit, mint mixes that you can do with Alfaka or Alpha Kama. Jim really seems to have nailed it. Okay. Wheat Clouds, it's still starting. That flavor's already kind of saturated. Like, it's very melony. Let that heat up for a bit more. One thing about Tangiers, or anytime you're going to use a Provost, something that I've noticed come up time and time again, is this is a flat bottom with a bunch of holes on it. Your coals are going to black out when they touch them initially because it's going to be the room temperature of your house, and your coals are going to be the temperature of hot coals, and then they're going to black out. It's inevitable. So what I like to do is leave them for 5-10 minutes, flip them over, and then once the Provost is good and hot, they'll black out much more slowly. You can kind of not get that burnt flavor, because sometimes when you have a burnt flavor in your throat, it's not actually you burning your tobacco, it's the dark side of a coal face down, and you're inhaling that kind of gross carbony flavor. It's very harsh on the throat. You don't want that. Tony, I know. I wish I was there too. I hope you can make it out to either Chicago or Vegas, because either one of those, I can't wait to meet you. I've met a lot of the guys already, but there's a lot of people I still want to meet and get super hammered with and smoke a shitload of hookah. Anyone else like Heineken? I'm a big fan because it goes down like water. Let's see if we can start to get this going more, and I'll explain why you might want to mix Tangiers with a blonde, medium cut, run-of-the-mill tobacco. Not that there's anything wrong with ROR, not that anything's wrong with being, kind of run-of-the-mill. Just Tangiers is a very specific type of tobacco, unwashed, molasses, sugar, strip, all that stuff. And it's packed differently, and it performs totally different from most of your other blonde tobaccos. So this is why I like to dive into this stuff. There's almost this wet feeling to the ROR, which I really like. It reminds me of Fumari. Okay, so now that I feel like we have a good amount of heat in the actual tobacco, I'm going to go ahead and flip these coals over. And yes, I do have 2 sets of tongs for this setup. But honestly, these Urso tongs do make it a bit easier. And I'm going to flip this over just to prove it. That is a very blacked out coal. So I'm going to put the cherried side down on the Provost. Flip all these coals, knock off some of the excess ash, and then I'm going to put the Provost on, and I'm going to commit a little bit more to the heat. I'm going to go ahead and lay the Provost one side on a coal and one side actually in the Provost, as opposed to kind of supported by the leaf of the Provost, which is going to give us some more heat. Like so. There we go. I don't know how it would do with Nora Burr. Let me see here. Trifecta's new cut on their blonde mixed well with Burkook. Tony, can you give us a little explanation? Do you pre-mix it? Do you actually mix the flavors and then pack them? Or is it a side-by-side? How are you doing it? Because I have one Burkook flavor, and it does remind me a little bit of Trifecta. You don't know how it would do with Nora Burley? Me either. I actually haven't done a whole lot of cross-mixing between Trifecta and Tangiers, oddly enough. Fumari Chai and Mandarin Zest are my favorite. Ooh, look at you. Fumari's Chai is actually amazing. It's not too sweet, but it's sweet enough, and it definitely has that chai flavor to it. Another Fumari one that I'm a really big fan of is their Vanilla Latte, I think is the name of it. Is it, or is it Vanilla Bean? It's the vanilla flavor. It's actually very good. Blow on it. No, I would get ash all over my room, Robert. Now we're getting somewhere. Premix worked well, didn't section it off. See, I wonder, maybe we should do another episode where I kind of, or me or Matt, or whoever, tries to do a mix of something starkly different, like Tangiers and Alpha Kama, and premix it. Because how would you pack that? Would you dent it down like Tangiers? Would you normal pack it like you would Alpha Kama? Would you find a happy medium? That's the hard thing for me, because this is the most basic way to get into mixing blonde leafs with Tangiers, which is, full disclosure, a blonde leaf. It is an unwashed blonde leaf that is dyed by the molasses. Not it's just a side effect of using the molasses that they use. But yeah, Tangiers is not a true dark leaf, just in case anyone was wondering. But mixing Tangiers, which behaves like a dark leaf and has a very specific motif and flavor, I don't know how well that would work. I've tried it a few times and I haven't gotten it to work yet, where you kind of pre-mix it with a blonde, but I could see that working with Burkook in Trifecta very well. Mixed Fumari Chai and Osmani Turkish coffee. Where can I get that? I actually really want to try a Turkish coffee flavor, if it's anything like actual Turkish coffee. I live out here in Turkish coffee is a thing, and it's really good. This is starting to open up quite well. Flavor analysis time. Little mini review of the mix of ROR, Duo Melanie, and Tangiers Old School Watermelon. What you're really getting at the tip of your tongue when you inhale is going to be that saturated melon flavor, cantaloupe specifically, from the Duo Melanie. And that's going to be the primary sweetness to the flavor. The watermelon from the Old School Watermelon, there is a sweetness to it, but it is Tangiers. You do get that dark molasses flavor, which is kind of what coats the inside of your mouth, mostly on the back of your tongue. You do get that really strong molasses Tangiers flavor, which does have watermelon in it. But the flavor is being kind of overtaken by the Duo Melanie, or Duo Melanie, right now. And I imagine that's going to start to fade off as the bowl keeps going, because the Duo Melanie will be done before the Tangiers, but I think it'll have just enough consistency or just enough stability to keep burning with the Tangiers. But the Tangiers are going to start to overtake the session. But on the inhale, beautiful kind of bouquet of melons. And on the exhale, let's actually try it. Mostly Tangiers black molasses flavor. You do get that sweetness from the Duo Melanie, or Duo Melanie, but it's mostly the inhale where you're going to get that really nice sweetness. So yeah, it's a good mix, and I would recommend trying this. Don't be a, what's the word for it? Ask Anastasia for the hookup. Yeah, is she the person doing the, what was it? Was it the Nirvana? Yeah, she was doing like Nirvana Eclipse, right? Was she the one hooking that up? Because if she was, I'm not really in contact with her. But I would definitely be able to reach out and try to purchase like a sample from her, or even just like a 250 if she has one available. I would definitely be down to purchase that and try it, because it sounds off the hook. If I'm not mistaken, Offmani, or however you pronounce the name of that. Let me see how you spelled it. Offmani. I assume that's what it is. So it is by, yeah, it is by the same guys that make Nirvana. I remember that Eclipse had a really bad batch, according to the community. I did try some of that first batch through a friend, and I wasn't super impressed, but ever since, a lot of people, including the other host on this channel, Matt Deasand, have warmed up to the brand quite a bit, so I'm very excited. Let's see how our cloud's doing. Clouds are not bad. Clouds could be better. I don't know if it's because these coals burned down, or it probably wasn't the pack. The pack I feel like was pretty good. We'll let that heat up just a little bit more. Maybe drop the Provost in a few minutes and see if these clouds really open up. New batch is works. I assume that means worlds apart. You had both. Very cool, because I heard that the first batch was a little iffy. Maggie, what's up? How's Kenneth? How are the kids? Hopefully everyone's doing well. Hopefully you're doing well. It's begun. Everyone gets ready. We're heisting. What? Is people heisting? Oh, wait. Results in the heist. Raul will get 80 bowls. Okay. I missed that whole heist. Now the clouds are opening up a little bit more. Can you guys hear that? I can hear it from here. I don't know if you can. Sizzling a little bit. I love the sizzling of those like blonde tobaccos. Tangiers doesn't really sizzle that much. Also, new Heine time. They are all spoiled. I'm the only good one. I'll take your word for that, Maggie. How about that LA flavor banning? That is a bad thing for our community. We don't want this. We want to protect LA. Turns out that for that petition, all the votes that were from non-California, they didn't count. Which doesn't make sense. I guess it kind of makes sense. I'm a little salty over it. There are going to be ripple effects. Now, here's the upside. America's built on tobacco. Big tobacco doesn't like hookah, unfortunately. But I don't foresee this spreading everywhere. Matthew, what are the bowls? Heist? Oh, are you asking, just to clarify before I answer this question, are you wondering what bulls are and what heisting is altogether? Are you unfamiliar with that entire genre of the cryptocurrency thing we do over here on the AM Hookah Podcast? Because if so, I'd be happy to explain. If I'm not mistaken, I think a lot of the wholesalers from LA can still export, but I don't think they can sell locally, which is just such a pain in the ass, especially since LA is such a populated area. So hopefully we can get something amended, or I don't even know what it would take. I'm all the way over here in Dearborn, Michigan, basically the suburb of Detroit, and I'm not directly affected, but I kind of am because I buy from LA all the time. Oh, you don't know what it is at all? Okay, bulls. What bulls are is it's our kind of cryptocurrency over here on the AM Hookah Podcast, run by this thing called Chatbot. And you probably have bulls. As a matter of fact, Matthew, type in exclamation point, bulls, no spaces, doesn't matter if it's capital or not. And it'll tell me how many bulls you've gotten. When you watch the show, you just get bulls. When people heist, they can bet bulls, and randomly people will come out with more bulls than they went in with. People who lost will just lose the bulls. We use them for entries to giveaway. We haven't done any big ones yet, but there is going to be a big giveaway probably this season that's going to involve a number of bulls that will be announced probably 2-3 weeks prior to the actual giveaway entry. But there will be a bull buy-in to do the giveaway. And the reason we do it that way is because we want the people who actually watch the podcast on a regular basis to have more of a chance to win these big giveaways. But if you're newer to the podcast, you can absolutely get bulls. We actually do bull bets on the Gamecast. Matt does it a lot where he'll play a game and if he wins, you can bet bulls. And if you bet on him winning and he wins, you get you get your bulls back and however many bulls you bet. And if you lose, you just lose your bulls. But a lot of us, for instance, I'm not signed under Pipe Dream Hookah. Pipe Dream Hookah is my review channel, but I am under AM Hookah right now, unfortunately, so I can't check my bulls. Well, it is bad. SoCal is a mecca. However, it is important to note that this is just LA. This is strictly LA. This is not anything outside of LA. LA has the flavor banning. It is not anything else but LA. So that is the silver lining, I guess you could call it. But this is going to have ripple effects. And we need to, I'm going to show that comment, Raul. And we need to, if there's, I don't know what parts we can be doing right now if we're not in California. But if there's anything that we can do, especially those of us that aren't in California, you can bet that the AM Hookah Podcast will be kind of filling you guys in. Alright, let's see if this can take even more heat. I do not believe these coals need to be flipped, but I do believe I can just set this whole provost down and really start to cook this stuff. So, Monday, I'm not exactly sure what's going on. I don't think we have a guest for this Monday, but we've got a few guests coming up for the next few episodes of Season 3 of the AM Hookah Podcast. So look forward to that. And I got a question for you guys. I think I've asked it before, but I'm working on some stuff, and we're thinking about doing, produced, non-live videos for the AM Hookah Podcast that would either be done by Matt or myself, or maybe even Bracken, who is our, what's the word for it? Our producer, or Captain Wetbeard, aka Austin, who is our admin. What do you guys think about that? Would you like to see some fully produced content over here at AM Hookah, whether it be reviews or whatever type of video we decided to do? I'm not sure what it'll be yet. But that's something we might have in the works in the back end of the AM Hookah Podcast. Or just AM Hookah. I guess AM Hookah is the channel, but we don't just do a podcast. I gotta get out of a habit of saying that. Where the majority of hookah is at LOL, LA County. Yeah, that's true. Worst case scenario, I order out of state. My local lounges ain't got much, to be honest. Yeah, I have that same problem over here. I do a lot of ordering online to get my stuff. That may be shocking the tobacco just a little bit. Probably wasn't ready for that caliber of heat. Let's back it back off. There we go. But yeah, that's a fucking pain in the ass. The AB podcast. Yeah, you guys like that? We thought it'd be a funny thing to do for our April Fool's gig. It just so happens that April Fool's falls on a Monday, and our podcast is on a Monday. Are we allowed to heist yet? Now, as the session goes through, the ROR on its own should only last, it's a better way to cool down, 2 minutes and 50 seconds. I work here. I should be allowed to do whatever I want. Right? But I guess chatbot works here too. I guess in a weird way, chatbot's kind of my boss. But yeah, definitely let us know. Like literally right now, you guys watching, would you like to see more produced content or any produced content on the AM Hookah channel? Let me know. I want to know. Because we're going to think tank it, obviously. And if we want to, we're probably going to do it. And if we don't want to, we probably won't. But, you know, the opinions of everyone that watches this channel matters quite a bit, because this is basically just an extension of the already existing community. I love live content and never watch other stuff. Well, I'm glad you like the live stuff. That's kind of the bread and butter of what we do over here. Matthew. And obviously I'm not going to sit here and smoke an entire bowl of Dual Melanie, and Tangiers Old School Watermelon, because that would take the better half of probably 2 hours to get through. What I will say is, as this goes, the Duo Melanie is starting to die down just a little bit. It's not going to actually die for like an hour, probably, since we started. Probably an hour mark into the session is when we're going to really start to see the Tangiers kind of open up and take over the entirety of the flavor profile. But this is just a really good way to have even a transmorphative session. If you guys have never done layer packs, I'm absolutely going to be doing technical difficulties on layer packs soon. And if you don't know what that means, it's exactly what it sounds like. It's when you pack one flavor on the bottom and another flavor on the top. And if you want to do a triple layer pack, if you've got a particularly deep bowl, you can do a third layer. And your flavor will transform as the session goes through. Have you done heat management on different tobacco? Sometimes I burnt it and don't know why. It's really difficult. If you can give me some examples, maybe I can help. But yeah, like even I sometimes will fuck a session up a little bit. You can usually recover it once you realize what's going wrong. But yeah, heat management for me is different for every tobacco. It seems weird because you think that like, oh great, you can just heat it the same way every time. And that's not actually true. Like this bowl right here, it's 3 flats, jumbo flats to be exact, and a Provost. But if this was just Tangiers in this same bowl, you could even get away with 2 flats and you can just put the Provost straight on. It's weird the way like these blonde leafy tobaccos take heat, because they burn, and when they start to burn it's really bad. But they do demand a little bit more heat, especially at the beginning of the session. I don't know what the deal is. Tangiers, once you get it heated, will cook evenly and thoroughly for a good long time. I've layer packed with cane at the bottom. It was good. Yeah, mint at the bottom to like so your session starts to open up with mint as you keep going is so good. I still got a heist going, so I got to get down on that. Why is caps lock on? Heist 20. How's 20 sound? Akeem, what's going on, boss? Anyway, yeah, I think I'm going to finish my beer, and I'm probably going to wrap this up. This is about all I had to show off. But yeah, you can absolutely pack Tangiers. I'm not going to call any names, but I've gotten this question before, and I've actually been accused of not lying. I've had some people say, no, you shouldn't pack Tangiers with anything else. It's a waste of Tangiers. And I strongly disagree with that statement. You can mix Tangiers as much as you want. In fact, I would venture to guess you could mix Tangiers with anything when you do this side-by-side pack. That's just my opinion. Definitely try it. Let me know how you liked it. This week on Instagram, this following week, I would like to see some pictures of, if you guys could post in the AM Hookah channel, just pictures of like full setups with HMDs on top. Don't care what the HMD is. Yeah, I'm going to count the Provost as an HMD. I just want to see a full setup HMD on top and like drop your Instagram handle so I can at you at Instagram if you guys want to, and then we'll get some content revolving around that. Also, we've got merch. Look in the description. There's a link to it. We've got the Circle Back to Corn merch. If you don't know what that means, you missed a really weird meme. And if you do know what that means, it exists. This is a very good bowl. Also, this heist needs to finish because I want to see if we get more bowls. I like entering the heist because we can get bowls and we can't do anything with the bowls, and that fills me with giddy childlike joy for some reason. I layer a lot. Really? You're a fan of layering. So do you layer a bunch of backer? Agreed. I've never had a bad sesh mixing tang with anything else. Yeah, me either. Honestly, the only times I've had a bad session is when I mix Tangiers with another flavor and I pre-mix them and they're not compatible. Like, for instance, if I did ROR with Tangiers and I pre-mixed it and tried to pack it and get like some happy medium between the two, because I do 50-50 packs a lot, I don't know that I would get the best session out of that. I don't know. So that's been weird for me. But every time I've done these segmented packs like I'm doing here, it's been awesome. The tang is starting to come up. Tang is a flavor that's going to be here for the long haul. I could smoke this for full 2 hours if I wanted to. I might. Also, if anyone knows anything about any hangs going on later, let me know. I might be looking to jump into a hangs a little later. I might be playing some video games. Oh, Nightbot, we have some shirts and a ton of other stuff on sale. Go see what they are at https://teespring.com/stores/am/hookah. ... because I think that link is longer than Nightbot is leading on. Yeah, I agree. Some flavors do not mix well flavor-wise at all. Not everyone. I've had people just like, oh, can I mix this and this? And then I go like, well, technically yes. But maybe Tangiers clove isn't going to be that great with like, I don't know, a lemon mint. Like, I never really liked that mixture myself, and I've tried it. And then some mixes that you don't think would be great, like double apple with blueberry, end up being awesome. But that's all subjective stuff, right? But yeah, you can get some sketchy mixes. We're going to kill the whole 12-pack of Heineken I have. Like an asshole. I mean, it is Friday. I guess I get to do that without looking like a complete alcoholic. Did you guys check that picture, that painting that Rachel did of the Relics Ring Bowl on the podcast this last Monday? Because I thought that was pretty cool. And Kyle seems to have liked it too. I'm trying to talk her into doing like 3 more of the exact same painting, but with a different color combination. So it can be like the Andy Warhol paintings of like Coca-Cola or Campbell's Chicken Noodle Soup or whatever, like that pop art thing. I thought that'd be really cool to have in the house. This is interesting. Have you guys tried packing tang dents on the side of the Don Turkish yet? Strictly on the side of the bowl, not on the bottom. Works not bad, to be honest. Question, do you pack something else in the middle? Or do you, like, leave it empty? How do you normally do that, Tony? Because I haven't tried that, now I want to. Oh, I lost bowls. And Raul just made 100 bones. 100 smackaroonies. $640 bowls. Well, Raul, you're going to be able to enter into whatever the fuck giveaway we do, because I can guarantee it's not going to cost 600 bowls. I'm thinking like 100 bowls or like 200 bowls or something very achievable. Yeah, I'll show you your comment, Maggie. Fuck. And Matthew, don't worry, you do get bowls just for hanging out. Like, as long as you're watching, you can check at any point. Nightbot will tell you how many bowls you have, or rather Chatbot will. Floral mix good with the other stuff if you're careful. Yeah, I like florals with a lot of stuff. Floral mints are something I really gravitate towards, although mint mixes well with almost anything. Floral and like double apple is something I really like, but I like double apple with anything. Floral with lemon. Anything lemon and floral, that usually makes a really good mix. I essentially packed cane mint in the little clumps. Cane in little clumps, dense on the side, not a consistent sheet, and then packed Azur's cinnamon cookies fluff all around it. That sounds awesome, and that's really interesting. I would love to. Can I steal that for technical difficulties? I'd love to try that. That sounds sweet. I had to back off heat periodically because the tang would give throat hit. But once the Azur got to temperature, it leveled off. That's awesome. Dubai apple and Bermuda mint. That does sound awesome as well. Well, I'm done with my beer. I just realized I've had Deadmau5 playing in the background. I don't know if you guys can hear that. But that's happening, so hopefully this doesn't, like, we don't make money on the podcast, but if it were monetized, it would probably get demonetized. Try it. Only did it once, so I don't know how viable it actually is. I'd love to dive into that and see how viable it is myself. Because that sounds interesting. I call my floral dirty. That sounds interesting. I gotta try some backer at some point. Hashtag bro science. Yeah. This session is going well. Let's check on our coal. We got a coal in here, kind of buried in ash. And these coals have been lit for probably over an hour now. Let me see this. This thing's been going on for 55 minutes. These coals were lit about 10 minutes before it started. So this is a Prestige Jumbo Flat buried in coal an hour in. This is a usable flat. It's obviously diminished in size, but not anything close to the diminishing size we see probably in the coals inside of this this bowl right here. I don't think I want to pull them out because the session is going so well. It'd be a good episode for sure. Yeah, I'll see if I can talk Matt into doing that. That sounds like something Matt would love to do. Next week, I think that I'll probably be on the Gamecast and Matt will probably be on technical difficulties, if anyone's wondering. We got some pretty cool guests coming up if you guys want to check that out, so definitely come see the podcast itself. And that said, you guys, I think that's all I really have to talk about today. So I'm going to sign off. I'm going to go pour myself 10 more glasses of Heineken, and then I'm going to rage on a hangs or something, or rage and play like an Oddworld game. So thank you guys so much for watching. And hey, as always, happy smoking. Bye. Why did you miss the show, Matt? You work here. It's your responsibility to come and see the show. I can't believe you do this to me. Good job, Matt. Great fucking job. Look what you did. What you fucking did. I can't believe.